Citizens United. Do you want to talk maybe a little bit about that and its impact on what we're talking about right now?
Yeah, we've got a Congress that is awash in corporate money. Open secrets after the vote on H.R. 1599. They did an analysis of campaign contributions to members of the House, and they found that if a member had received agribusiness contributions, they were far more likely to be a pro-voter on H.R. 1599. They found that members who voted for H.R. 1599 got 3 times the amount of agribusiness donations than people who voted against it. So you can just see in the vote count, it's so predictable actually. All you have to do is look to see where your senator or congressperson gets his or her money, and you can predict their votes. It's very, very simple. It's a money calculation. But it is kind of fun to make the corporations pay. Unfortunately, I think it's small change for them. You know, when we put campaign contribution caps, which many of them were eroded with our recent Supreme Court decisions, but unfortunately, it doesn't hurt them enough. You know, they spend hundreds of millions of dollars fighting GMO labels, and it's not hurting them enough. So we can't be too happy about that. But they are spending about $180,000 per vote in the House. You know, considering how much money they've spent fighting GMO labels, that's what it got them.
Well, I'm going to suggest they could have put labels on everything that had never been labeled, and still into the future, what, by maybe 50, 100 years? With the money they've spent fighting the labels with the excuse that it'll cost more money to put the label, it's retarded. That's just like not even, it's an insult to my intelligence that you should tell me that this is about saving consumers money.
Well, and then in the end, you know, Consumer Reports put their professional economists on it and their scientists on it. It doesn't cost anyone any more money. In Europe, they passed labeling laws. Costs nothing.
Yeah.
All it costs is Monsanto having their products known and discovered by consumers.
Yep.
And that's really what they're fighting to stop.
Ladies, well, I'm just going to call it right now. These corporations, it's a fool's errand. The people are on to you. Legislators, the people know what's going on. They know they're being duped. They know that these bills are corporate bills. There's no hiding it anymore. Like, the one good thing that we can have about all of these nasty, rotten, corporate-sponsored bills that are coming through is that it's waking up the people that have been quiet and the people who've been passive, the people who've been, you know, having the bake sales, you know, to get rid of GMOs. I mean, this is, like, it's really waking people up going, wow, okay, if I don't resist this, this is going to run right over me, my family, my community, my business, my restaurants, my playlist. You know, forget it. This is like, we have to take back our politics, not just for this one thing, because this is an important thing. There's a whole litany of other things, too.
Well, for the whole system, I mean, the thing that's most frustrating to me is how corrupt the payoffs are to farmers. I mean, I don't know the technical terms, but if a farmer plants GMO, he gets a bonus check.
Subsidies, crop subsidies, farm bill subsidies.
If a farmer plants organic, he has to pay $40,000 a year or whatever it is to be certified. That should be flipped. I want my tax dollars subsidizing organic broccoli. And I want Coca-Cola to pay more for their cheap corn, for their junk, for their whatever, their soda they're selling, or their chemicals. You know, why are my tax dollars subsidizing Coca-Cola, Kraft, Pepsi, you know, all those junk food companies? I want my tax dollars subsidizing excuse me, healthy foods for our families. That's where they should go. I mean, but our government is so backwards, and they've sold out so much of the corporations. They should be subsidizing organic farmers.
Yeah, and school lunches should be filled with nutritious organic food and not, what my daughter just came home not that long ago with a thing on Pizza Hut is making the pizza now and at their school. So, like, not even the pizza, as easy as a flippin' pizza would be to pop in, you know, could be made. They're not, they're like frozen, they ship it in, and the big food is like now taking my tax dollars in yet one more way. We subsidize their employees with all of our health care and all the things that we provide and social assistance for those that can't afford a living that work for these megalithic corporations. We subsidize all the healthcare and cancer treatment and all the things that go with sick people who eat sick food. So we get the poor people making the food who aren't paid a living wage. We get the sick people who are eating the food who are now need all kinds of prescription drugs and healthcare and cancer treatment and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like a path of destruction. And it's the worst possible element in our country. And this is where our tax dollars are going. This should be the shame of our country. These foods are the shame of our country. Our military deserves better. Our children deserve better. Our growing new families, our young people who are just hitting the workforce deserve better than fast food frickin' jobs. We need a system rethink. This is a bankruptcy, health bankruptcy, financial bankruptcy game plan that we need to opt out of.
How about the fact that so many applicants to the military are turned away because they're not fit, they're overweight? Some outrageous number I heard the other day. I forgot what it was, but it was like, I think it was 70% or something, some giant number. I'll have to look that up. But it was like a huge percentage of young men who are applying to our armed forces are turned away because they're too fat. They're not fit. And this is tragic. This is a tragedy. And I wonder why our politicians aren't looking at trying to make our country healthier rather than supporting the junk food and chemical industries. I just think it's sad.
Okay, rant, move over right now.